able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully more people start to stream in here as we go, because we'll start off officially. We kind of had like the the pre-show before, and then now is sort of the I don't really know how to put it, but we have an actual start to the show that I think you're gonna like, and then we'll get into the matches. But for the next few minutes, wait for a couple people. Let's talk about where we are right now. As far as Rookie of the Year goes, we started a few months ago, and the goal was very simple. We were going to find the best rookie in the world and then give him a one-way contract to Evolution, to General Admission Wrestling. But what it's turned into is just this unbelievable process of all of the growth of the people who have been involved, and we've seen so many characters come out, and we've learned so much more about these guys. Obviously, we've added a 13th with Frankie Omega Jr. coming on. Little Dragon is still recovering from the injuries that he sustained because of Frankie. It's been an incredible story from start to finish, and now to cap it off in this way, all the matches of the tournament going down here tonight. If you missed the three-way dance, we'll recap it for you. But we know that Dorian Wayne Bush is going to be the one who's challenging Takahashi in the first round. Takahashi, of course, has gone wire to wire as first place in this tournament. He has been just phenomenal. And if you watched our tune-up show yesterday, we broke down Takahashi's game. It really showed you how dominant he's been and why he's been so good. And I would expect that will continue here tonight. However, we know who else is out there. We know that Adonis Carter is the guy who's had so much plaudits. He's had so many people that have come out and said that, you know, this is the guy who's going to win this tournament. He is built to win this tournament, so he's still out there. Frankie Omega Jr. is still out there. Ryan Skinner, the hottest man in the tournament, 7 matches in a row for him. He's still out there. So this is anybody's game. In our Discord, if you haven't joined the Discord, by the way, the link should be down right there, right in the description, just down there. We've had people pick Takahashi, we've had people pick Skinner, we've had people pick Frankie. There's been a lot of good conversation and disagreement about who is really the best going into this. And I think the only way to find out is just to watch the matches play out. We're going to take you from first round to finals here tonight. We're going to hear from the team captains, Eddie Hernandez and new Apex champion, Kurt Andrews. Obviously, Eddie has something to play for as well, because if someone from Team Hernandez does win this tournament, then Kurt Andrews promised that he would get a chance at the Apex Championship. So there's a lot to play for here, but I think we have enough people now. Thank you all again for joining us. Let's get started. Rookie of the Year Live Finals begins right now. We started with 12 of the best rookies on the planet, and we've made it down to 8. This is the Rookie of the Year Tournament Finals, and it starts and ends live tonight on General Admission Wrestling. Thank you all so much for joining us here. Thank you for watching every episode.
And you always took my humbleness for granted, but I know my worth, you can't take that away from me. And I know you think I still can take advantage, but it hasn't worked out like you fucking planned it. 'Cause I know my worth, you can't take that away from me.
a big reason for Takahashi's success. A big reason for Takahashi's success is the fact that the volume of his striking is unlike anything we've ever seen. Yes, there is commentary, having an issue with my mic. For some reason, I've been having a lot of issues with this program today. That's actually the reason that we had to get started late. I actually had to uninstall and then reinstall the whole program just to get it to go live. So I've been having some issues. Hopefully that's the last of them. So sorry about that. So as I was saying, the key here for Dorian is definitely going to be staying out of Takahashi's reach and doing something to mitigate the volume of strikes that Takahashi is able to levy in any given match. You'll have to let me know, by the way, Jefferson's comment earlier about Takahashi's song Challenging Omega Woods. You'll have to let me know about that. Takahashi first covering the match off a stun gun. Obviously, the spinning heel kick for Takahashi is going to be his main weapon, but Dorian Bush, way to fire back on that. So if I'm Dorian, I'm going to have to stay out of the way of that. Dorian takes to the skies, overshoots a little bit. And that's the kind of thing you cannot afford to do against Takahashi. You can't afford any kind of mistakes, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Takahashi able to fire back. Dorian knocks German suplex on the outside. I'm curious here for Dorian. I'm curious if it's going to be an issue of trying to outlast Takahashi in this match. I don't know. For those of you who watched the three-way dance, a big key for what Dorian did in that match was he was able to stay out of the way of the attacks of Chris Alexa and Dash Foley. He was able to come in at the right moments, pick his spots. That's exactly what he's going to have to do against Takahashi. Way to break the count here. We're going with championship rules in these matches, by the way. So 10-second count out. And if the participants are counted out, then it'll be a bye for their next opponent. And obviously in an 8-man match, in an 8-man tournament, that is huge. Takahashi, I think he's looking to end this thing. Spinning heel kick. Good night, Dorian. Spinning heel kick, Takahashi. That's it. Thanks for playing, Dorian. And a great run for him, but unfortunately, his tournament is over. Takahashi, wire to wire. And he continues. Takahashi moving to the semifinals. He will await the winner of Raymond Church and Leon Redgrave. Wow, great match. Great match. The thing about Takahashi I think that is so interesting to me is the fact that every time it seems like he's added something new to his game. I mean, it feels like he continues to improve as a striker. You see a lot of guys that rest on their laurels, but I think Takahashi really, I think, perfectly exemplifies what you want a rookie to be. He's always learning, he's always improving. One of his closest matches was actually against Dorian Bush in the group stage, and he improved so much from that. And you can see that he was doing exactly what Dorian didn't want him to do. He was closing the space. He was making sure that Dorian could not pick and choose in his spots. He had to play by Takahashi's rules, and when you do that, unfortunately, Takahashi just always wins. So one of the things that we did notice in the group stage was that both Team Hernandez and Team Andrews finished with identical records, 30-30. So it's hard to say which captain was best, who led their team the best. It's impossible to say. So during this next match, I'm gonna ask you guys, let me know in the chat, who you think did the best job in terms of the captains. Who was best out of Kurt Andrews and Eddie Hernandez? Who led their team? I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let's get on to our next match. Wrestling thinks it's Eddie Hernandez who did a better job as team captain. What I will say, I'm curious again what the rest of you think, but just to play devil's advocate, I would say that the way Kurt Andrews turned his team around, I mean, it was a disaster in those first 3 or 4 weeks. And there it is, Lunch Police, hashtag no one better. He's a well-known Kurt Andrews fan. We've been knowing that. And I think to go along with that, the fact that he turned his team around in the way that he did, and specifically Ryan Skinner, a man that we're about to see here, the way that Ryan Skinner went from 0-3 to winning 7 in a row, that is great leadership, in my opinion, from Kurt Andrews. That's the kind of thing you really want to see from a team captain. So that would be the argument for Andrews. But Wolf Stormsong, here's another guy that I think really flew under the radar as part of Team Hernandez. Finishes with a record of 6-4. And I don't think people give him enough credit for what he was able to do. He was in that 3-way dance in the final episode of the group stage. He was the first one eliminated, so it was a bad performance for him there. But I don't want that to overshadow how good of a tournament he has actually had. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to go against the red-hot Ryan Skinner. Love listening to this from Ryan Skinner. It's so intimidating to watch him out there. I mean, just the chills that you get, and the fact that Wolf Stormsong is in there in the ring watching him come down and knowing that he's won 7 in a row. There is no one in this competition more intimidating than Ryan Skinner right now, and I'm including Takahashi only because they both have that scare factor. They both have that intimidation factor. But 7 wins in a row for Skinner. You really have to be asking yourself, can this man be stopped? Can I actually do anything about Ryan Skinner? Mr. Grim Reaper asking if anyone else can wait to see a possible part 2 of Rookie of the Year. What do you mean by that? Are you talking about another competition? New rookies coming in? More of these rookies, because I absolutely guarantee you this is not the last we will be seeing of these rookies. Obviously, the man who goes on to win will have a one-way ticket to Evolution, but I think we've seen across the spectrum in GAW that a lot of wrestlers have been impressed by what these rookies have shown. I imagine that a lot of these guys will be popping up on Evolution, on GAW. That would be my guess. Here we go, second first round match. It's Skinner and Stormsong. Now again, Skinner 7 wins in a row. So I guess the open question right now is, how does Stormsong deal with it? What should his game plan be against Ryan Skinner? The thing about Skinner is that it isn't one move, right? I mean, we saw him try that at the beginning of the competition. SME predicting Ryan Skinner. That's a pretty safe prediction, but I think one informed by just watching how good he's been over the course of this competition. Stormsong trying to get himself psyched up. New coaches also, so Mr. Grim Reaper, you're talking about all new rookies. I think that would be something that a lot of people would be interested in. We'll have to see. Let me know. I'm curious what you guys think. And I think it is an open question how Stormsong's going to deal with this. Early on, we saw that Ryan Skinner wanted to be the one-move guy. He wanted to be just the absolute killer out there. He tried it with the skinned alive. He tried it with the wasteland drop. It didn't work. And so he has changed his game. He's won in so many different ways. Of course, most famously, he won with a modified Mahi Stroll roll-up, which was just phenomenal. One of my absolute favorite, one of my favorite matches, one of my favorite victories of the Rookie of the Year group stage. That has been Ryan Skinner. Wolf Stormsong is actually very similar. He is very, very versatile. We've seen it match after match. Stormsong has tried different ways to win. It's been the Wolf Song, the Springboard 450. It's been the GTH. It's been a lot of different strategies from Wolf Stormsong. But now Ryan Skinner going in. Beautiful chop. Skinner showing his striking abilities. I don't know if he'll be able to compete with Takahashi striking-wise, but he's got to be one of the guys who's close. Beautiful backflip off the ropes. Skinner showing his athleticism. Ducks underneath. Ryan Skinner takes him down. Beautiful lariat. This is what we've come to expect from Ryan Skinner. There is nothing you can do. Skinned alive. There is just no defense for someone who has this level of versatility. Ryan Skinner is moving on. You can see the desperation for these men. One mistake and that is it. They're done. That's exactly how much this competition means. That is how much these men want to win. And Ryan Skinner just a little bit better than Wolf Stormsong here tonight. Wolf gets skinned alive. I like Wolf Stormsong. I don't think this is the last we'll be seeing of him. But for now, Ryan Skinner, the hottest man in this competition, 8 in a row. He will need to make it 10 in order to win this thing. But if anyone is capable, I do think it's Ryan Skinner. Hey, listen, man, you absolutely killed it in that first match. You did exactly what we've been teaching you to do this whole time. So just keep doing your thing, man. Keep playing your game. I'm not going to say that nobody can beat you. I mean, if there's one thing that we've learned, it's that anything can happen in this tournament. But we do know that you can only control what you can control. And if you're playing your best, it'll take a Herculean effort to take you down. So keep changing levels, keep going with those high-low combinations. The spinning heel kick keeps working, man. So look for those openings. I don't think you need to really get away from that at all. Just keep doing what you do, and I think that you can come out of here with a win. I'm proud of you. Hernandez coaching up Takahashi. It's what he's been doing all tournament. Takahashi seems to be that guy. You just get him zoned in. You just get him locked in. He can beat anybody. However, if you are talking about men that can compete with Takahashi as far as striking is concerned, Leon Redgrave is that guy. Redgrave is the only man that has been able to actually outstrike Takahashi, and indeed when they fought, Takahashi needed to dig deep in the bag to beat Redgrave.
I got a bottle of Patron and some light sauce, 2 red devil looking eyeballs, and I'm finna turn up when the night falls. If you hear a siren, then it's my fault. Jump in my whip, baby, let's ride. We ain't gonna stop at a red light, and I'ma take shots like a Tech 9. It's gonna get live. Here we go, it's about to go down. Let me know, I'ma buy another round. Get low, drop
the fans here in Atlanta obviously not enjoying Raymond Church. I know that there's been conversation in the Discord about Raymond Church's theme as well, and that it might be one of the sleepers. Much like Raymond Church himself has been the sleeper of this tournament, I don't think a lot of people have clocked in, myself included, that Raymond Church is 4th. He is actually the higher seed than Leon Redgrave, and you can see SME Wrestling, I definitely agree that Redgrave is a contender to win the thing because he is so evenly matched with Takahashi. Well, Raymond Church is a guy who has snuck up on a lot of people. He actually defeated Leon Redgrave in the three-way dance on the final day of the group stage competition. So this is a guy who has a history against Leon Redgrave in particular. And I think Church is a guy that can surprise some people. However, that being said, it looks like some of you guys in the chat, you've woken up to Raymond Church. Grim Reaper, Lunch Police, both of you are convinced that Raymond Church is coming out of this match. However, Lunch Police, I gotta tell you, the winner of this faces Ryan Skinner. Here we go. First round is halfway done. We've seen quick matches. I would expect to see more of that here tonight, as again, the desperation of these men really comes through. One mistake is all it will take. And certainly against Leon Redgrave, that has been the case throughout this competition. Suplex attempt countered, beautifully done. Redgrave, I've never noticed the size disparity between these two, but look at the size of Leon Redgrave. He measured in for this match at 6'4", weighed in 258 pounds. This is a big man. Reached to compete with Takahashi as well, which again, he is the man to beat in this tournament. I'm sorry, I misspoke. I said that the winner of this would take on Ryan Skinner. They will not. The winner will take on Takahashi. I was reading the bracket wrong. So yes, it will be potentially one of these men against potentially Ryan Skinner in the finals. Boy, what a match that would be. Church's first cover, that's going nowhere. For Raymond Church, you can't really even point to what he's done well. I think what you can point to is what he hasn't done poorly, and there's really no way that you can beat him now. Leon Redgrave, that being said, he will challenge you with the striking, and we're seeing it here. Church trying to take him off guard with that triangle choke. Redgrave comes right back. London Lariat countered into a German. Redgrave trying to surprise Raymond Church right off the bat there. Church caught him, but Redgrave, he is tough, man. From the streets of Birmingham, this guy is a mauler. We've seen it before. Church, maybe don't antagonize him. That might not be the way to go. Beautiful springboard moonsault. One thing that Church does have over Redgrave is the springy athleticism. I would expect and hope to see more of that from him as we go. Redgrave is so tough. I mean, there's just nothing you can do to keep this man down. Redgrave gets him up. Powerbomb position. We know what he likes out of here. Redgrave stacks him up in the package. London Bridge. Redgrave, beautiful bridging pin. Raymond Church kicks out. Able to use that core strength to fire out, but Redgrave has him in a bad position. Redgrave, Birmingham hammer. Leon Redgrave hooks the leg, and Leon Redgrave is moving on. That is a big-time win. And Raymond Church, we had some guys in the chat that really liked what Church was doing coming into this match. I get it. But Leon Redgrave, this man is tough. He is strong. He is one of the only men that can compete with Takahashi as a striker. And that will be the man that he faces next. Wow. First round is almost done. One more match to go. And it's the one that I think a lot of people have been waiting for. It's Adonis Carter versus Frankie Omega Jr. I'm really excited to see this. I'm really excited because the thing about Frankie, we've known that a lot of his success does come from the underhanded tactics that he uses. I mean, we've seen that before. But what is so unique about Frankie is that he does have the talent. He has the pedigree coming from the Reaper camp. His father, his uncle, I mean, his whole family being who they are. Underground legends as well as GAW legends. And the thing about Adonis Carter is none of that's really true, other than his uncle, other than Satin Cedric. Adonis Carter is, I mean, he's come out of nowhere, but he is one of the most celebrated men in this competition so far, and with good reason. Street Redgrave, non-biased take about how good Redgrave is, but look, honestly, Redgrave he's that dude. If Takahashi isn't, Leon Redgrave is probably the guys that you would be most scared to come across, just because of that incredible power. And if there is one man whose strikes are more powerful than Takahashi, it would be Leon Redgrave. He doesn't have the volume, he doesn't have the ability to change levels the way that we've seen with Takahashi, but he does have just that overwhelming power. In the London Lariat, there's nothing better right now in Rookie of the Year. Too bad Takahashi's gonna stop Redgrave. Well, that's why they play the game, so to speak. So we will see that in the second round. Ryan Skinner awaiting the winner of Adonis Carter and Frankie Omega Jr., and Grim Reaper calling it that Frankie's gonna win without cheating. We're gonna have to see. That's a bold prediction. He has needed to resort to those kinds of tactics before, but you know, not all the time. I mean, he took over the Little Dragons record. He comes here as the 7th seed, 5-5. It's been a very mixed bag for Frankie. He did beat Takahashi. Obviously, he had to resort to cheating in order to do it, but he does boast a win over the number 1 seed. That was at Bash of the Beats. It was on the admission fee, so a lot of you guys were here the last time we were live. You joined us for that, and that was fantastic. That's a big reason why I wanted to do this live and why I have so much fun with this. As long as the software is working, I have a lot of fun doing this. Redgrave, one hell of a success story. I absolutely agree. Streets of Birmingham to on the precipice of Rookie of the Year contention, becoming the Rookie of the Year, heading to GAW. It's an inspirational story, even if you might not like his personality. I don't know if you do or not. Ryan is waiting to see who his next victim is. Yes, he absolutely is. He listened to Eddie. That's what Grim Reaper says. That Eddie Hernandez, the team captain, caught up with Frankie Omega Jr. I want to say I think it was the final week of the group stage, if I remember correctly. It was the first time that the two had spoken face to face, and Eddie obviously did not appreciate what Frankie had done as far as attacking the Little Dragon to get into the Rookie of the Year tournament. It's obviously an homage to what Lancelot did when he made his massive debut in GAW all those months ago. It's incredible to think that, I mean, we're less than 2 years from that moment when Lancelot debuted here in GAW, but that's how he did it. Eddie was finally able to catch up to him and talk some sense into him. And so to counter what we were saying earlier about how good Kurt Andrews has been as team captain, how he's been able to turn his team around, Eddie Hernandez did the same thing with Frankie Omega Jr. He was able to turn him around, and Frankie, we saw him absolutely maybe Takahashi's toughest match, other than his fight with Adonis Carter, was against Frankie Omega Jr., and in large part because Eddie was able to talk some sense into him and be honest with him and say, hey, look, you are good enough to do this. And obviously you can see right here the cheater label under Frankie Omega Jr. I think he's gonna have to deal with that for a while, but you can't deny how good he is. You can't deny how physical he is, and you can't deny his pedigree and what he's been able to do, training with the men that he's trained with. The Reaper Camp, maybe the most famous wrestling school in the underground, and it has created so many of GAW's top wrestlers, and obviously Lancelot, one of our legends, the founder of the school, but we've seen Kendrick Gore come through there, and he'll be fighting Midnight on Evolution 7 days on Halloween, so join us on Halloween, by the way, so that you can see that. And the list keeps going on and on. Tag team champions, singles champions, Midnight, Igris, Dagonite. That's the kind of pedigree that Frankie Omega Jr. comes from. So we're going to get to see him go up against Adonis Carter, who didn't come from any of that. A kid from Chicago. His uncle got him into wrestling, and the rest is history. Adonis Carter now becoming one of the top prospects that we've ever seen in GAW. One win behind Takahashi. And I'm just excited to see how these two matchups, they're so different. Lunch Police, I won't lie, the Reaper camp is full of beasts. It absolutely is. Let's see if they can add one more.
Pocket full of them bad, cause I be killing it. Play around with them bad, cause I be killing it. I don't think I understand, cause I be killing it. I take your girl, cause I be killing it. Pocket full of them bad, cause I be killing it. I be killing it. Play around with them bad, cause I be killing it. I don't think I understand, cause I be killing it. I be killing it.
I do love this look from Adonis Carter. The blue and white. I hope that he does this more. I hope that we see him more if he is not going to win this competition. Because he's one of the guys who went over to Evolution, fought Derek Cole when Cole was the Apex champion. Adonis Carter is a special kind of prospect. Look who is with Frankie Omega Jr. It's Frankie Omega Sr., a former tag team champion here in GAW, accompanying his son for the first time. If you needed any more reason to think that this might be the match of the tournament so far, here it is. Junior and Senior coming out together to match up with Adonis Carter and his uncle Satin, Cedric. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Here we go. Adonis Carter, Frankie Omega Jr., the final match of the first round. Mr. Grim Reaper already excited to see Senior out there. As I said, former tag team champion here in GAW as part of the Wing Collectors. One of the most tragic stories of Season 1 was to watch the Wing Collectors implode the way they did. It was too bad to see. This is Frankie's first appearance in GAW since his street fight with Andrew Wesley, and immediately Adonis Carter showing that spring, that athleticism. Let's see if Frankie can win without cheating. Oh, what a Kamagoye. That is obviously the elephant in the room when it comes to Frankie Omega. Adonis Carter charging it up. It's a standing 450, a classic for Adonis Carter. We've seen it so many times from him. Again, we keep saying Frankie is so skilled with or without the underhanded tactics. But one thing that he is going to have to figure out is how to mitigate the speed of Adonis Carter. That is going to be an issue here, no doubt. Frankie is a great athlete. So many guys from the Reaper camp are. But Adonis Carter's on another level. We've seen it before. So that's going to be Frankie's biggest challenge. And you can see, right hand, Carter's just too fast. Frankie trying to run. Carter is one step ahead of him. That's what we've seen every time from Adonis Carter. The losses for Carter so far to Dorian Bush and Ryan Skinner, if I remember correctly. His loss to Dorian, one of the biggest upsets of the tournament, and Dorian did that because he just didn't give up. Even the all-day Dorian, the first one, didn't finish off Carter. He needed to in order to do it, but it was a flurry of big moves back to back to back. And that's what you need to do to beat Adonis Carter. Frankie going after the arm. I like it here on that top wrist lock is what he's going to have to do. I would expect to see it. His father nicknamed the Arm Collector for good reason, but Carter again, too quick. The right hand ducks underneath, head scissors. Satin Cedric liking what he's seeing. Cedric, one of those guys who seems to have plans outside of the immediate reach of this tournament. We've seen him over and over and over again, and he said it again on the tune-up show last night. If you missed that, we got to hear from Cedric, and he did say that he had more plans. Carter, beautiful splash into the cover here. Cedric loves it. Frankie kicks out. I wouldn't expect to see Frankie Sr. get involved at all. That's not really his style. We'll see Carter. Oh, what a beautiful forearm. Adonis Carter. He has truly taken control of this match. The right to face Ryan Skinner on the line. Carter again, just too quick for Frankie. Carter, oh no. No, you don't do it. Carter baited him in, and we've seen it happen time and time again. Adonis Carter with this spinning heel kick. Frankie Jr. made the mistake, and Adonis Carter makes him pay. Hooks the leg, no! Well, that was almost it. How many men have fallen because Adonis Carter was just one step ahead? Frankie fighting off the ropes. And he needed to do it. We've seen Adonis Carter before. Frankie Omega. He got him with the butterfly brain buster. I don't trust Frankie, and you shouldn't. It's unfortunate because he is so good, but you can't trust him with what he's done. Adonis Carter now backed up against the ropes. He's able to fight off, but Frankie, he's been able to take control once again, and he's done it with these quick strikes. A couple haymakers, but you see knife edge chop, and Carter now, he's having to be a little conservative here against Frankie. That big boot missed. Was he trying to go low with that? I don't know. Again, something that we need to keep our eye on. And Frankie, I think he went to the throat there. So nothing overt as of yet for Frankie. But again, I mean, he fights like an underground wrestler. A lot of these guys do have underground backgrounds, but they haven't spent the amount of time in the underground that Frankie has because of the Reaper Camp. And Frankie, he's done it again. We've seen it before from Frankie Omega Jr. Very similar to the Bloody Cross. Adonis Carter survives. We've seen that before from Frankie Omega Jr., but he's got so many different ways to win. He's co-opted his father's arm collector submission. And of course the Omega theory that his father made famous as well. Carter now starting to run, and I think Carter knows the longer he goes in this match, the more chance Frankie has. I think Carter's starting to realize that, and he's absolutely right. You do not want to go deep in counts against Frankie Omega Jr. because you didn't want to do it against his father. Carter spinning Uranage. This is my favorite match so far. SMU Wrestling, I definitely agree. We're seeing a very even matchup, more so even than the 4-5, which is exactly what this tournament has been about. Adonis Carter, shades of Ricky Steamboat on that one. And Carter, he's gonna charge it up again. Adonis Carter standing 450. You love to see that. Carter takes to the skies, frog splash. He's pulling out things that we haven't seen from him before, and I think it's because of the toughness of Frankie Omega Jr. You just got to do something. You got to try. Carter, float over DDT. Jr. saw it coming on that occasion, and he goes right to that same spot. Frankie Jr. again trying to change levels on Carter. Much like Takahashi does, Frankie, springboard power bomb. Right in front of his father, Carter fights up off his back. Frankie Sr. trying to cheer him on, and this time, Frankie Jr. does not take the bait from Carter. That is growth within the match. That is what we wanted to see from Frankie this whole time, and you have to give credit to Eddie Hernandez because he challenged him. I think Eddie brought this out of Frankie Omega Jr., and you see how much better he's gotten. Frankie Jr. lights him up in the corner. It's a 1 count, but Frankie, I think, made his point here. Now takes to the sky, springboard leg drop. Frankie Sr. loves it. Cedric loves that because Adonis Carter quick enough to get out of the way. Now Carter pulls him back in for the neck breaker. the most competitive match of the first round so far, and it's the 2-7 matchup, and now Carter, pump handle in, Chicago Masterclass, it's Adonis Carter. Carter's moving on, Carter, no! Oh my goodness, Adonis Carter. Carter, flipping leg drop, 2 Cold Scorpio, how you doing? Oh my God. Frankie Omega Jr. just survived the Chicago Masterclass, and now Frankie trying to respond quickly. More attacks on the arm from Frankie Jr., and now he's going to take to the skies again. Seated moonsault press. So Carter's back, targeting the arm. We have seen both these guys go deep into their bags to try to get the win here. How was that not in SME? I know, my man. Frankie, boot to the gut. It's caught by Carter. Beautiful Pele kick to the back. I've never seen it. Adonis Carter. He is too good, man. I don't know how Frankie is going to deal with him here. Carter gets him up on the ropes, and Adonis Carter with the rope-assisted cutter. Adonis Carter, is that enough? No! It's too good, man. It's too good. Frankie, too tough. Carter, springboard, Phoenix splash. These guys are pulling it all out. Carter, oh, he baited him in again. Frankie fanned on the left this time. Frankie thought that he was going to be able to outthink him. He couldn't. Carter, spinning heel kick. Frankie thought he was going to be able to outthink Carter by going left. Carter was too fast, and Carter again takes control. Spinning Uranage. Carter, he's going to charge it up. A third time, standing 450. The fans love it. It is phenomenal. Chicago Masterclass again. Adonis Carter wasted no time. No! I have seen it all. Adonis Carter takes to the skies, flipping leg drop, and again, Frankie Jr. It's too good, folks. It is just too good. Frankie again, springboard leg drop. Carter saw it coming. Carter now having to rethink himself, and he made a mistake. Frankie, Manhattan drop into the upward kick. Wow! Frankie Omega Jr. jumped on the mistake, but it's only a 2 count. Can it get any better than this? And it's only the first round. How is this not over yet? I don't know. This is unreal. And it's only the first round. Still more to come from the Rookie of the Year Live Finals. Frankie, more attacks, German suplex with the bridge. Frankie trying to surprise the number 2 seed. It doesn't work. Carter staying in. Frankie takes him down. Frankie, so many targets on the left arm. Frankie, it's the arm collector, the cross arm breaker. Carter, there's no way he can get out of this. It's too deep. Adonis Carter has tapped out. Unbelievable. Frankie Omega Jr. has just won this first round match. We have to take a look back at this. This was special. This was a first round match for the ages. Match of the tournament, it may very well be. And Frankie did it without cheating. He just overpowered and beat the number 2 seed. That was a special performance. Frankie's moving on, and his reward, Ryan Skinner. We'll see it in round 2. But for a full look at the bracket, let's turn it over to our team captain and Apex champion, Hernandez. Yes, here I am with the new bracket. I don't know what dingus put this together. You can barely see what's going on, but we'll take it full screen here. Yes, I know TV terminology just like anybody else because I am the best. Here we go. It's the bracket. You can see the Takahashi, Leon Redgrave in the semifinals. Obviously, my man Leon going to win. Takahashi overhyped. We've known that for ages. Ryan Skinner, Frankie Omega Jr. We just saw Frankie go through an absolute war. He beat my man Adonis Carter. I feel like Satin Cedric probably could have done a little bit more there if I'm being honest with you. But it doesn't matter because you are looking at the next Rookie of the Year, Ryan Skinner, in that semifinal match. And let me tell you something about Ryan. Let me just inform you. Someone turn the music down, you idiots. Let me tell you about Ryan Skinner. What makes Ryan Skinner so special? Well, it's very simply because he is coached by Kurt Andrews. No one better, baby, the Apex champion. And when you're around champions, when you're around men of my caliber, well, that's just what happens. You just become great. Takahashi lucked into it. He's probably worse now because of working with Eddie Hernandez. But Ryan Skinner never would have been on the level that he's on without Kurt Andrews, my friends. That is the effect that the Apex champion has on the men he's around. Except for the men he's in the ring with. For them, it is just the hospital bed waiting for them. But for my men and Rookie of the Year, it is championship success. It is evolution. And for Ryan Skinner, it is a one-way ticket to general admission wrestling. Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate that from the Apex champion. Humble as always. This has been just an incredible show already. We're very nearly an hour into this thing. And this has been honestly more fun than I would have imagined. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out. I mean, the number of chats that we've gotten. Whenever you go live, you always think, am I going to have people showing up? Are people going to be interested? Are they going to stick around? Are they going to watch? Are they going to interact? This is why I call you guys the best community in wrestling, because you really are. Because you guys do this. You guys stick around and we have fun. And we're now down to 4. So I'm gonna give you guys a second. Who do you have? Who do you have right now? It's Takahashi. It's Ryan Skinner. It's Frankie Omega Jr. It's Leon Redgrave. I know that a lot of you. I know that it's going to be very split. Grim Reaper doesn't like Frankie's odds against Skinner. Now look, here's what I'm going to say about that. As far as that matchup is concerned, if Frankie does what he just did against Adonis Carter, he can beat anybody. Adonis Carter is as good as they come. And I'm not talking about just among rookies. I mean among anybody. And if Frankie plays like that I think he could beat Skinner. I think he could beat Takahashi. Now, the question is, can he do that on a consistent basis? That has been the question, I think, for all these rookies, because that is what defines a rookie, right? I mean, it's not, we talked about this during the competition. It's not that these guys are any worse than anyone on Evolution. I mean, I think on their day, Adonis Carter could beat Derek Cole. Takahashi could beat Omega Woods. We're not talking about that. It's that those guys on Evolution, the Woods, the Omega Woods, the Lancelots of the world, Yun Son Park, Eddie Hernandez, the list goes on and on. Even Kurt Andrews, as much as I hate to say it, the dude is elite. Those guys play their game every time. They're at the top of their game every single match. And that is the difference between them and the rookies. So for Frankie, that top level ability, yes, he could beat Ryan Skinner, but is he going to be able to show that, especially after that kind of match against Carter? Nearly 15 minutes in the ring against one of the fastest workers that we have in GAW. It's going to be tough considering how dominant Skinner was. All right, let me catch up on this. He went 15 minutes with Carter, has to face Ryan Skinner. SME, I appreciate you, man. This has been fantastic. As I've said before, if you guys are with me during the admission fee, I work in live TV. That's my job. That's my day job, and I love it. This is what I love to do. I love making live. I just love making live happen. It's so much fun. So this is something I would like to do more. Obviously, the time involved in doing something like this, right now would preclude me from doing it for every episode of GAW, for example. But it's something I would like to do more, and certainly when it comes to live streaming, a lot of you guys are with me when I was streaming over on Twitch. It's something that I know that I've talked to some of you guys I really want to do again. Persona 5 just got re-released on the new consoles, one of my favorite games of all time. I would love to revisit it, stream, play again, interact with you guys. We had the best soundboard ever. We had so much fun with that. That's the kind of thing I would love to do again. So I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to make that happen. So we'll see logistically if I can make that work. But I just love doing stuff live, and you guys are the reason why. So again, I really appreciate you guys being here. Street picking Leon Redgrave. Yeah, at least he's been consistent. But again, Takahashi, man, that he is tough, man. Even for someone like Redgrave, we're just gonna have to see. SME sticking with his pick with Takahashi. I respect that. Again, you've gone wire to wire, much like he has, as far as picking him. He's 2 matches away from winning the whole thing. Lunch predicting that Ryan Skinner is gonna shut down Frankie Omega Jr. And again, after the war he just went on with Adonis Carter, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, certainly. No one better. That the Kurt Andrews catchphrase, which, if it were me personally, I feel like the "Are you done?" is more of a thing for Kurt Andrews right now. But certainly you can't argue with the facts. Right now, there is no one better. Kurt Andrews is the Apex champion, and say what you want about how he won it, there is no one better than Kurt Andrews right now. Let's get started with round 2 as we come up on the hour mark. 3 more matches to go, and we will begin with Takahashi, the #1 seed, taking on Leon Redgrave. One final prediction: Takahashi versus Ryan Skinner in the finals. I don't know. We'll see. Redgrave and Takahashi are coming into this match very similarly because they dominated their first round matches in large part because of the striking power. So they're both coming in fresh, but again, when you're this desperate, one mistake, especially against these guys, and it's over. So I would expect to see, I don't know if it's going to be another quick match. I don't know if we're going to see a 15-minute bout between these two, to be very honest.
It's time for me to
Grim Reaper predicting Takahashi versus Frankie 3. They are knotted up. They're due a rubber match. So that would be a story to follow, certainly. But again, is Frankie going to be able to overcome the war that he just fought against Adonis Carter? I don't know. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be real tough. Oh, we got 2 matches to figure it out. I cannot get over even Leon Redgrave, maybe the hardest man in Rookie of the Year, maybe the hardest man in GAW right now. What do you think he's thinking watching Takahashi come down like this? I mean, is even the gritty, dangerous Leon Redgrave intimidated by Takahashi? I think it's possible. I really do. Because how could you not be? I don't care how tough you are. How could you not be intimidated by Takahashi and the fact that he's coming down with this music and as dangerous as he is, knowing that he's only lost to one man and knowing that that man is now out of the competition. So everyone else that Takahashi is facing here, he has beaten during the course of this competition. I mean, that is a scary thought. I don't care who you are. That being said, Frankie does have a win over him. Illegitimate, cheating or not, it's a win. So that's out there as well. One final note before we get started here. We have 2 members of Team Hernandez, 2 members of Team Andrews still left in this competition. Those 2 men, the team captains, have been dead even from the very beginning. And it continues in the semifinals. German suplex, and it's a 2 count, and you can already tell that Takahashi and Leon Redgrave, they're tired even after the domination that they both had in their first round matches. They're having to pace themselves, and that's exactly what we've been expecting in this tournament. I love these one-night tournaments because strategically it becomes so important to pace yourself. It's not just the tactics that you use in the match. It's all about how do you strategically deal with the rigor of this tournament. So I hope to do things like this more, one-night tournaments, because it does challenge these guys so much more than even what we'll see in the GAW Classic coming later this year. SME cheering on Takahashi. Takahashi's got himself a real fan here, and that's what Rookie of the Year is all about. You know, we say every time on Rookie of the Year, we say in the description of this very stream that you will find your next favorite wrestler during the Rookie of the Year tournament, and that has absolutely been the case, I think, for a lot of people, and certainly for me, watching these guys, watching Takahashi, Adonis Carter, Leon Redgrave, Ryan Skinner, the kinds of guys that we are going to see on the next level. I'm positive. It's been so much fun. Takahashi trying to take the back. Redgrave saw it coming. Redgrave ducks underneath the roundhouse. Takahashi tried to snap it into him. Redgrave saw it coming. Redgrave with a right hook. The discus right from Leon Redgrave. It's a kick out from Takahashi. This dude is tough. Takahashi with a springboard moonsault. That's the other thing he has, athleticism. That is unexpected from a man of this size. Look at this striking combination. Knee straight to the temple, and he'll add more. Double foot stomp, Redgrave up. Catches the incoming roundhouse from Takahashi, and now Redgrave gets him up onto the shoulder, stun gun. As Redgrave here just tries to get control. Again, his power. One of the only men that can compete with Takahashi in that department. Takahashi fights off his back. Kamagoye from the big man, and Takahashi rolls into the cover. It's a 1 count. We actually saw him beat Dr. Plague with the Kamagoye, so Takahashi can do it. We've seen it before. Takes him down. Meteora to a seated Redgrave. Again, it's the volume. It's the speed. Takahashi, there's no one better when it comes to that. And now Takahashi, Redgrave is going to have to get out of the way. Spinning heel kick. It is a death sentence. Takahashi is moving on to the finals. Oh, man. Leon Redgrave impressed a lot of people. And for Street, among others, your support of him, your fandom is, I think, very well founded. This is not the last we will be seeing of Leon Redgrave. But unfortunately for the man from Birmingham, his night, his tournament is over. Takahashi is moving on to the finals. Hey, partner. I know things haven't gone as well as you might have hoped. And I know that you didn't make it here where you really want to be. But I just want to tell you, there's a lot of people that are watching what you do with open eyes. I think there's a lot of potential they see in you. Not everybody's perfect on the first go round. But I can tell you this. If you want to collect some boots for yourself, if you want to make a statement, just keep doing what you do. You don't have to change anything. Just make sure that you're improving every day. I think I'll see you up on Evolution pretty soon. At least I hope I will. And make sure you pay attention to the offers. There are guys on Evolution that can really help you. So just be listening. I'll be watching. Man, I don't know if that's the worst screw job since Montreal. That's a little, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to defend yourself on that one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Lutz Police saying Takahashi is the only person I'm worried about for Ryan Skinner. And at this point, if Skinner gets past Frankie, Takahashi's the man to beat. So again, we'll have to see. And that match I'm really excited to see. But let's talk about the Raw champion in the house here for this live match, for the live tournament finals. We've seen Omega Woods really take an interest in what goes on in all of GAW, and I think that's indicative of a broader point when it comes to these guys, when it comes to the Evolution wrestlers, or really all the wrestlers in GAW. They all understand that this is the future of general admission wrestling, and they've all gotten on board with that. They've all talked to the rookies. They've come down. They've watched the matches. We've seen so many guys from Evolution and from Storm. And when it comes to Omega Woods, coming down here and talking up Dash Foley, a man who isn't even competing tonight because he lost in that three-way dance last night on the tune-up show. And that, I think it goes a long way to show you how much this tournament has meant for general admission wrestling. I think for us as fans, but also for the wrestlers here, because they understand that these are guys that they're going to be seeing. And so is it strategic, or is it genuinely these guys want to help the next generation of rookies? Because that was a lot of them. Guys like Max Ultimate, Ramon Gutierrez, among others that, came in last year. The Second City Wrestling guys, Chandler Marcy, Joshua Moore, Xavier Cross, came in last year as rookies in GAW. And now they're really finding themselves. I mean, we're seeing on 7 days, Max Ultimate challenging for the Apex Championship. We'll see Ramon Gutierrez challenging for the Raw Championship. These guys are growing up, and these rookies that we're seeing are going to be the next generation of that. I'm trying to ignore Street here. Brett at least had a job secured after Montreal. Oh my goodness. I can't. That's a little bit out of pocket, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I can tolerate something like that in this chat. You're impugning the officiating of general admission wrestling here. What are you doing? Oh man, that's not the last we're gonna see of Leon Redgrave. I absolutely promise you. We're gonna see a lot more of Leon, and we should, because he is as good as they come. As far as his striking, as far as his power, we're gonna see more of him. Let's get to our final semi-final match. We've given Frankie Omega Jr. enough time, hopefully, to recuperate. Let's see if he's got it against Ryan Skinner. Street, I can promise you that Leon Redgrave will not be facing Goldberg. I can promise you that. Although Goldberg, in terms of his GAW career, one of the most successful GAW wrestlers of all time. Frankie Omega Jr. coming out without his father for this match. Very interesting. Frankie Sr. staying backstage here. I wonder if that's an emotional play here for Frankie, just, trying to make sure that he is alone out here, that he is isolated, that he is going to focus, because that's what he has to do. He's coming off a war. I don't know how tired he is. Those are all things we're going to have to see. We saw this very match go down a handful of weeks ago. It was week 8 of the group stage. Ryan Skinner and Frankie Omega Jr. And Frankie tried to cheat to win in that match. It didn't work. Ryan Skinner was on top of it, and that was part of his unbelievable resurgence, which has led him here to the semifinals, winning now 8 matches in a row. And again, it will need to be 10 if Ryan Skinner is going to win this competition. SME predicting it'll be Ryan Skinner versus Takahashi in the finals. It's a good prediction, given the fact that Frankie is coming off, again, just a battle, a marathon match that we saw against Adonis Carter. So how much does he have left in the tank? I think that's the question for Frankie Omega Jr. right now, and especially because you look at the man across from you and you see Skinner having dispatched in the first round Wolf Storm Song in about 3 minutes. Skinner is just getting better week by week, and that's what's scary. It's not the fact that he raised his level after going 0-3 in his first 3 matches, 0-4 if you count week 1, which wasn't an official tournament match. It wasn't just that he got up to his normal level after that. It's that he raised his level in week 4 of the competition and then continued to raise it week after week after week. So one does wonder that if Ryan Skinner had faced Takahashi later in the competition as opposed to facing him week 1, if things would have gone differently between them. We're only 1 match from finding out. Frankie Omega Jr., Ryan Skinner. And Frankie, if it were me, I would try to finish this match as early as humanly possible. Stay away from Skinner. Do not let him drag you into the deep water. Skinner takes him down with a big lariat. It is absolutely crucial for Frankie Omega Jr. that he does not allow Ryan Skinner to have any kind of momentum, because if Skinner gets running, what we've seen is that he is athletic, he is fast, and Frankie does not have the energy to compete with him after what he did against Adonis Carter. Nice takedown as Frankie goes low to the knees. I like it, and you can see early here, Frankie, I think, is tired, going for a cover early. Skinner kicks out. Frankie just trying to get himself as much room as possible. We're seeing him work at a slower pace than what he did against Carter, and again, going after that left arm. Again, this is what I love about one-night tournaments, guys, honestly. The tactical and strategic mindset that you need to have to compete in one night, potentially 3 matches or more. This is what I love about doing this. So I hope that we will get to do this more. Again, thank you all for joining us on this live show. I promise we will be doing this more as we go on. And again, let me know in the chat if you would like to see me stream some other games, something like that. I'd be interested, because again, this is something I really enjoy doing. Frankie, springboard elbow, already another cover. Frankie going for more covers in the first minute and a half of this match than he went for in basically the first 10 minutes of his bout with Adonis. It's a smart strategy again, but at some point you have to lock in either the arm collector or just something to get you some real momentum against Skinner. And you can see Frankie just trying to take as much time as he can, trying to suck air. And that is, unfortunately, Skinner knows that as well as anybody. And Skinner is going to take advantage. Grim Reaper cheering on Frankie Omega Jr. in the comments, and maybe it'll will him to victory. He's got to do something here, and he fights back against Skinner. Skinner stays on his feet against that striking combination, but Frankie Omega Jr., beautiful fisherman suplex, didn't hang on. I think that is a vestige of some back and midsection pain that Frankie is dealing with from the Carter match. He didn't have the strength to lock in the full bridge on that cover, and it may have cost him. Skinner answers right back. Somersault kick. Skinner gets him onto his feet. Skinner comes in, skinned alive. It's how he beat Wolf Storm Song. Frankie's in trouble. Ryan Skinner, no! Frankie Omega Jr. survives the first real test of this bout against Skinner. But there is going to have to be more, and we've seen this from Skinner before. Diving splash, Ryan Skinner. He's won matches like this. Skinner hooks the leg. Ryan Skinner is going to the finals. Frankie Omega Jr. did what he could to outlast Skinner, but it just wasn't enough. He kicked out of the Skinned Alive, but it took every last bit he had. Ryan Skinner has won 9 in a row, and he's headed to the finals. Wow. Wow. That was awesome. And Frankie, I think we gotta give it up. Gotta give it up to Frankie Omega Jr. That was an incredible performance. Because he did go so deep against Adonis Carter, and he was able to hang on against Skinner just for that little bit extra. And I know it didn't work this time, but how many times have we seen just that little bit where it demoralizes the other guy? And credit to Ryan Skinner, because how easy would it have been for him to get frustrated thinking I should have had an easy win here against Frankie, and it's not happening. But he didn't. He stayed within himself. He played his game, and he is headed to the finals. What a fantastic tournament that we have had so far, and still one match to go. The Rookie of the Year title on the line. It'll be our first official Rookie of the Year. We did crown one unofficially, I guess you could say. It was in a Discord poll at the very end of season 2. So for those of you who participated in that poll, thank you very much. And I'm trying to remember who won it. I believe it was Derek Cole who won our poll, our Rookie of the Year poll in the Discord. But now we'll get to crown one officially, and it will be either Takahashi or Ryan Skinner. Takahashi versus Ryan Skinner. It's going to be a banger. I think you're absolutely right. And they're both coming in very similar circumstances. I don't want to say easy first round matches, but dominant first round matches, pushed more in the second round by men that more closely match their style. So they're coming in with virtually identical ring time, and I think that's going to make a big difference for them, because there's not going to be a clear favorite based on how much time they've spent or you know, how injured they may be or anything like that. Again, it's that tactics, the strategy that goes into one-night tournaments that we're seeing really play out in the finals. And I think this is the best opportunity, because there isn't going to be a what if here. There isn't going to be, well, what if Frankie hadn't gone, you know, if Frankie had beaten Skinner? Well, what if he hadn't gone 15 minutes against Carter? What if Takahashi had gone the distance against Dorian Bush? You know, none of that is going to happen here. We're going to get two guys that are at their best, fighting for the top prize among these rookies and a one-way ticket to Evolution. We have general agreement that Takahashi versus Ryan Skinner is going to be a great match. I think you're absolutely right. I think it will be. Lunch Police says Takahashi is going to be a challenge, but he is going to be Ryan's number 10 in a row. And just think about that. Just think about the number. The quality of the wrestlers that we've seen on Rookie of the Year. For Ryan Skinner to have 10 wins in a row, it means that he has beaten almost every single one of them back to back to back. And no one has been able to say that. Even Takahashi has not been able to put up the kinds of wins that Ryan Skinner has. Now, that being said, it's worth noting that Ryan Skinner's schedule, that's a little bit tough to say, was pretty front-loaded. I mean, we do have to sort of mention the elephant in the room. Week 1 of the competition, he fought Takahashi, who went on to be the number 1 seed. Week 2, he fought Adonis Carter, who went on to be the number 2 seed. He lost both of those matches. And then week 3, he fought Leon Redgrave. So a bit of a front-loaded schedule for Ryan Skinner. You have 3 of the top wrestlers in this competition that he had to face back to back to back. Lost all 3 of those. So if they had been more evenly distributed, would we be talking about Ryan Skinner in the same way that we're talking about him now? He wouldn't have the 10 wins in a row necessarily. That being said, you can't do anything about the schedule. The schedule was randomly generated. So Skinner can't control who he fights and in what order he fights. So all you can do is fight the matches that are in front of you, and he did that, and he lost 3 in a row, and that can be demoralizing for a lot of guys, especially for Skinner, who was the #1 overall pick. So there were so many expectations on his shoulders, especially the family he comes from, the Skinner family, royalty of the underground. If none of you are familiar, I mean, it's I'm trying to think. I mean, it's like I guess the closest analogous would be I suppose the Jarretts, you know, in terms of just that presence on the underground and how much they've meant to the sport. That's what the Skinner family has been. So Ryan Skinner not only carrying the expectations of his family name, but the #1 pick and the expectations of his team captain in Eddie Hernandez. So Skinner, no matter what order he had to fight his matches, the fact that he goes 0-3 and feeling that weight come down on his shoulders and is still able to push past it and win 10 in a row and make it here to the finals. Skinner has been the story of the tournament, in my opinion. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And I think for a lot of you guys, I've seen that you agree with that. The Skinner's been the story here. And we are mere minutes away from watching the finals. Ryan Skinner versus Takahashi, the #1 overall pick. The #1 pick of Kurt Andrews versus the #1 pick of Eddie Hernandez, the man who's gone wire to wire in first place, the man who had to win 10 in a row or 9 in a row to get here. Team Andrews versus Team Hernandez. It's all coming together in the finals. I am so excited. But first, and you knew this was coming, we have to hear from our team captains, Eddie Hernandez, Apex champion Kurt Andrews. We are minutes away from the finals, so boys, take it away.
All right, Kurt, we know the finals, and we know that it's Takahashi and Ryan Skinner. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to everybody. How are you feeling right now? Eddie, this is the first time we've been together since I have won the Apex Championship, so first and foremost, I would like you to very simply congratulate me for becoming the champion. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I knew you wouldn't. But what you will do is you will bow to me and bow at the feet of Ryan Skinner when he becomes the Rookie of the Year. And there will be no chance for you to fight for this title because Ryan Skinner is headed to Evolution and Kurt Andrews will live forever as the Apex champion. Yeah, I see you didn't forget that if a member of Team Hernandez wins Rookie of the Year, that you promised me a shot at the Apex title. I see you didn't forget that. It's irrelevant. Yeah, we'll find out. But here's my question to you. Takahashi, probably the best striker we've ever seen from a man his age. I mean, do you really think Ryan Skinner has what it takes? I think personally that striking is overrated. Here's what we know about Ryan Skinner. He is developed, he is versatile, there is nothing you can do that would fool him. So just because Takahashi is a good striker, guess what, Eddie? Everybody's a good striker when you get to this level. The question is, can you do multiple things on a high level? Can you be great at multiple things? Ryan Skinner is, but when Takahashi's striking doesn't work, what next? I think the answer is nothing, because we already saw him lose to Adonis Carter, who did that very same thing. Ryan Skinner will be able to do it. He's not as athletic, but he's more developed in his game. Takahashi has nowhere to go when the striking doesn't work, and Ryan Skinner will be the Rookie of the Year. Look, I got to admit, it's a great story to see Ryan Skinner up here, to see what he's done. It's tremendous. However, I think you're really downplaying how great Takahashi is in the striking game. Credit to Adonis Carter. He did what so many guys have been unable to do against Takahashi. However, Carter is one thing. Ryan Skinner, all respect to him, I think you really need to be able to move as fast as Carter does to get the better of Takahashi, and I just don't think Ryan Skinner can do it. I think Takahashi's striking will take him out of his element, and I think that as great as Ryan Skinner is, and I fully expect to see him at the next level, he's not quick enough to be able to stay away from Takahashi's 8-point attack. What are you? Are you some kind of MMA veteran? You think you're Joe Rogan? You think you're I don't even know who the rest of them are. No, I just think I've watched Takahashi long enough to know what he's about. I think you've watched Takahashi long enough to be buried 10 feet up his arse. No, here's the reality. Ryan Skinner he is the hottest man in Rookie of the Year. He hasn't lost a match in 3 months, Eddie. 3 months. You haven't seen your wife in 3 months. I'm beyond words. I think you've just run out of things to say. What are we even doing here? Why do I still talk to you? We're like, how long have we been into this competition, and yet I'm still here trying to extract some kind of intelligible sentence out of Kurt Andrews. Kurt Andrews doesn't need to speak in intelligible sentences. Kurt Andrews is the Apex champion. Now would you please go fry my hamburger before I take you straight to the woodshed? I see you were taking it literally when you said you don't have to speak in complete sentences. Congratulations. Rookie of the Year finals are coming up next, folks. Thank you all so much for joining us. It's just going to get better from here.
Welcome to Rookie of the Year. This is truly an homage to what we did to build this promotion. Nothing motivates a man more than hanging his dream in front of him.
It's no good for my lungs. I do this every season. I hate it when summer comes. I fall into a trap that I made by myself. Oh, and I always do the wrong thing.
Springboard 450, the Chicago Masterclass. Click clack. It's Raymond Church. Go to hell. Good night.
Unable and so unworthy, my heart feels heavy. I've lost already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now.
Ryan Skinner has won 7 straight. Chris Alexis on the upset. You will become immortal. Here we go. I can't wait. And watching that video, not only just Eddie Hernandez and Kurt Andrews, those guys are just unbelievable. I definitely agree with Lunch Police that I would like to see more of those two when this is over. But watching that video afterwards, it just reminds you how far we've come in the Rookie of the Year series and what we've witnessed. And I hope that a lot of you guys have found your next favorite wrestlers. And I know that we've found at least one, but probably many of the next generation of wrestlers on Evolution and general admission wrestling in general. That's been what this tournament is all about. And it's been just an amazing experience to watch and to witness the growth of the wrestlers, of the captains, and I think of the company that we've done something like this. And this is not the only tournament. This is not the only big thing that we're doing here on General Admission Wrestling. I promise you, there is more to come. I can't tell you what it is right now, but I promise that we have some huge announcements coming that you guys, I think, are all going to love, and I can't wait. Debate whether Devin has the better theme song than Kurt, by the way. I had to get up briefly there to punch a hole through the brick wall right behind me because I am so amped up for this match. The fact that Takahashi is able to stay within himself, he's able to stay calm in the way that he is, it is a testament to his emotional fortitude and his mental toughness as well as his physical toughness. We got Lunch Police and Grim Reaper just going after each other here. Frankie, unfortunately, is having to watch from the back after one of the best matches of the tournament against Adonis Carter. He will have to watch as Ryan Skinner, representing Team Andrews, goes up against Takahashi representing Team Hernandez. And there is more on the line than just the Rookie of the Year title. If Takahashi wins, Eddie Hernandez will be owed a shot at the Apex Championship, assuming that Kurt Andrews still holds it by the end of 7 days. Max Ultimate might have something to say about that. Takahashi, Ryan Skinner, in some ways, the storybook ending to Rookie of the Year. In many ways, this match was made from the beginning, and now it is the last one of the tournament. Here we go. Ryan Skinner and Takahashi. How are they going to approach it? Well, immediately, Ryan Skinner going for early covers, and again, this is part of that strategic element to these one-night tournaments, and I expect it to keep happening. Skinner does not have the high-end striking ability that Takahashi does, but I don't think Takahashi has the all-round ability that Ryan Skinner has, so it's a very interesting matchup. I expect to see more grapples from Skinner. I expect to see him take to the sky a little bit more, and more of this. Skinner with a Falcon Arrow. But you can see that it's starting to wear on him a little bit. His back, the midsection, he wasn't able to get Takahashi fully over. He had to pause with him in the air. He kind of fell forward. That's going to be something that we're watching for in this match as well, because as we know, Takahashi changes levels better than anyone else. So you know that he's going to go for the body. Going for the leg now with the Dragon Screw leg whip. Ryan Skinner will need to win 10 in a row to be the Rookie of the Year and guarantee himself a spot on Evolution. Takahashi hoping to make sure that doesn't happen with the single leg camel clutch. Skinner too strong for that, but you can tell Takahashi going after the midsection. Very smart strategy here from Takahashi, maybe the smartest man in this competition. Now Takahashi going to take to the skies, diving double foot stomp. He was going right after the ribs of Skinner, and Skinner firing back. Beautiful striking combination, and in a marvelous turn of events, it's Ryan Skinner who takes down Takahashi with the strikes. Takahashi kicks out, and deep breaths were exhaled across all of Takahashi's fan base. Again, one mistake is all it takes in this tournament. Skinner, Fujiwara armbar, wrenching back on it. Ryan Skinner lets it go, more for the damage than to try to get Takahashi to tap out. But Takahashi goes to the body, and now it'll be the big man, the #1 seed, going in for the strikes, changing levels again. Takahashi, another attack to the midsection and the rib cage. Takahashi approaching this match like a pro. He is as intelligent as it comes, and you can see that he's just trying to get some air in his lungs now. He picked his spots, and he's doing it beautifully. Springboard moonsault to Skinner's back. Skinner rolls out of the way of the knee that was also coming right above the waist, where so much of Takahashi's attacks have come from, and now Skinner, it looks like he's trying to neutralize Takahashi's arms. Very smart, because that's what Takahashi's going to be doing in order to cause more damage to the midsection of Skinner. Obviously, the question is this a tactical error on the part of Takahashi, because that spinning heel kick targets the jaw? Skinner, another cover, and this time it's a 1 count. More covers here from Ryan Skinner. Is that betraying that maybe Skinner is more fatigued than Takahashi? I don't know. It certainly doesn't seem like it right now, because Skinner using the strength. Takahashi came into this match at 6'6", and Ryan Skinner, double gut wrench suplex, float over into the cover. It's a 1 count only. Ryan Skinner has to be feeling good right now, and he's done this all tournament. He's tried to use those opportunities to get himself hyped up, get the crowd back into it. He's tried to do it this whole time. Now Skinner gonna take to the skies. Ryan Skinner with a lariat. Off the middle ropes, Ryan Skinner is taking control. Takahashi, nice flexibility, up to his feet. Takahashi, more strikes, takes him down roundhouse. And now it'll be Takahashi climbing the top rope. The top seed, and Eddie Hernandez is #1 pick. He's gonna fly. Takahashi, Meteora. Ryan Skinner was in the wrong place. Drop zone, Skinner's down. Takahashi cover, it's a 1 count. Takahashi again gonna fly. This time Skinner saw it coming. And that's how smart these men are. You cannot do anything twice. So if Takahashi does go for the spinning heel kick and it doesn't work, we've never seen it before. So is he going to be able to hang on? Is he going to be able to figure out something else if the spinning heel kick doesn't do the job? We'll have to find out. We're thinking ahead here as Takahashi goes low, drop kick to a seated Ryan Skinner. Now Takahashi, more strikes incoming. We saw this very same combination against Redgrave. Takahashi takes Skinner down. Ends in a seated position, and Takahashi is going to end this thing. Takahashi, he's picking him up. If he lands it, it's over. Spinning heel kick. Takahashi falls into the cover. Ryan Skinner down to his last count. Takahashi is the Rookie of the Year. Takahashi wins it. Ryan Skinner fell 1 match short in what was a spectacular tournament. Skinner came so close, agonizingly close for Ryan Skinner. SME loving it here for Takahashi, who's built a fan base. Oh my goodness, Ryan Skinner. Wow. Wow. He was so close. And I think a lot of people were rooting for him. But Takahashi was just that bit better in this match. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness, that was so much fun. The Rookie of the Year tournament is over. Takahashi is your Rookie of the Year. And the way that it happened, I don't think anyone could have guessed. A wire-to-wire victory for Takahashi, and good for him. I wasn't expecting it. We had upset bids. We had Frankie Omega Jr. We had Ryan Skinner. But in the end, Takahashi was just too good. SME, thank you, man. That was fantastic. I agree. I think it was. This is some of the most fun I've had in GAW. It's because of you guys. So thank you so much, SME. I'm glad you had fun. I did too. This was absolutely phenomenal. And I promise you, there is more to come. We are having. I don't want to say too much right now, but we are working on a massive event that is going to, I think, be unlike anything you've ever seen from the wrestling community here on YouTube. And I don't want to give away too much right now. Maybe we'll have more at Winterfest when that comes around in December. But just know that this is not where this ends. As far as events like this, as far as the live element, as far as any of that, it doesn't end here. It is just going to get better and better, I think. But as for this, Rookie of the Year is officially over. It was an incredible tournament. Thank you all so much for an amazing ride. Thank you all so much for being here with us for the live finals. Congratulations to Takahashi, who takes it home, becomes the first ever official Rookie of the Year. Thank you to all of you who created the rookies that competed in this tournament. I keep saying that we have the best community in wrestling, and this is why, because you guys show up for tournaments like this, for events like this. Thank you all so much. And again, Takahashi is the man with a one-way ticket to Evolution. I promise he will not be the only one that gets there. We've seen so much of these rookies, and we will see more. So thank you all so much once again for being here, for supporting us. If you haven't already, join the Discord. Link is down in the description. Check out the website, generaladmissionwrestling.com, and keep your eye out because there are more massive announcements to come for General Admission Wrestling. I've been Griff from GA. Thank you all again. We'll